Welcome to Discover Cape. Discover Cape is a 30-minute program that will introduce you to fascinating people, take you to interesting places, and enlighten you on events that are happening in our area. This month, we'll meet some fascinating people and tour some interesting places. Twice a year, a friendly old gentleman visits the banks of Cape Girardeau. He's a luxury yacht that goes by the name of Grandpa Woo. Taking part of the scenic boat tour along the Mississippi will help you discover Cape from a different view.
Hello, I'm Captain Dana, the captain of the Grandpa Woo 3, an excursion vessel that sails the waters of Lake Superior in the summer and, of course, the waters of the Gulf of Mexico in the winter. And that's what brings us here to Cape Girardeau. The Grandpa Woo 3 is the third of a series of excursion vessels that my wife and I have owned and operated. And of course, this voyage began years ago when I retired from the Army, a retired military officer with 20 years active duty.
I actually am the hostess for our ship, and my husband is the captain, and we've been doing this for 16 years now, I think. Anyway, we started with a 22-foot. A little fishing boat. That was probably somebody's rich person's a little dinghy.
And just a couple of weeks before it arrived, my wife's father passed away with liver cancer. That's when our children said, "Mom, Dad, we should name the new boat after Grandpa." So that's the source of the name Grandpa Woo. It took 4 years to build up enough business to just do scenic cruises. As we entered 1996, we knew that we had the volume of business and passengers to make that leap. We found a buyer for the Grandpa Woo 1 and made a deal to sell it. Now we're nervous because there's no ship and you're still offering scenic cruises with no boat. But we were fortunate and found a great replacement, a beautiful 110-foot vessel. We began doing excursions up on Lake Superior. But it didn't take long to discover that there are fantastic resources along all of our waterways, especially here at Cape Girardeau. The history of this community is astounding, and what's really a privilege is to be able to see that history from the waters of the Mississippi, the very same waters that caused Cape Girardeau to be historic. The Grandpa Woo began coming here to Cape Girardeau way back in 1994, the first voyage through here. Cape Girardeau has opened its doors to visitors, and that's very well demonstrated by the beautiful murals that pretty much say, "Welcome to Cape Girardeau, come visit us."
The arrangements took place in the fall of 2003. Captain Dana Collars and his wife Chanae were here in Cape. They had docked at the riverfront and had come into the Convention and Visitors Bureau and talked with our director Chuck Martin, and they had a meeting and to see if they could have a relationship, if they would like us, if we would like them, and they had a trial period in spring of 2004. They had some trial cruises with community leaders and some business owners in the community, and it worked out great. The relationship became very bonding between both parties, the boat along with the Cape Girardeau community.
And then 2 years ago, the Cape Girardeau Visitors and Convention Bureau opened up their arms and invited us to stay here and offer open boarding cruises as well. Since then, we've been returning more often, more frequently, with more passengers, and of course the result has been wonderful. Lots of people who live in this area now have an opportunity in the fall and the spring to get on the waters of the Mississippi and enjoy that rich cultural history and also take advantage of the beautiful flora and fauna along the riverbanks as well. The Grandpa Woo has 3 diesel engines with a total of just under 2,000 horsepower, allow this vessel to move at speeds of 27 miles an hour. But of course, most of our passengers prefer a quiet cruise so they can take the time and see the sights and enjoy the view. How in the world does a retired Army officer end up driving a ship on the waters of the Mississippi? Well, it stems from way back in my early childhood. I have always had a love for large open bodies of water. And of course, once I retired from the military, to discover that we could sail the waters of the Great Lakes and the Western Rivers and make a living at that has truly been an enjoyable endeavor. Frequently our passengers will tell my wife and I that we must have a wonderful life living on the water, and that's true. This vessel not only serves as a business where my wife and I can take people out and share the experiences of the water with them, but it's also our home. We live on board year-round, and we get to see the waters of the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, as well as a wide variety of our major cities. And it is a wonderful transition from Army life, where you get up in the morning and you're told what clothes to wear and what time you have to go to work, to being on the open waters and having a lot of freedom to explore the waters that we love, and of course an opportunity to meet really fantastic people who also share their interests with us in enjoying the sights and the waters of our country.